Hi, welcome everybody. This is a video where I'm going to show you how to do a sun salutation. So this is an ideal video for you if you've never practiced yoga before, and if you have any injuries or anything like that and you want to do a nice modified practice. So sun salutations are very traditional in the yoga world, and they help to really build strength and flexibility, help to fire you up for the day. So they're wonderful things to practice in the morning. So I'm going to show you one today, but you can then choose to repeat this video and maybe start to build up to 2, 3, even 5 or 10 sun salutations. If you do that first thing in the morning, then you're going to be feeling like you're all set for the day. So to begin, we come to the front of the mat, okay? Make sure that you have handy a couple of yoga blocks if you have them. And if you don't have yoga blocks, use a couple of tin cans, or you could even, if you have a chair or a couch, you just pull that towards you so that you have a place for the hands to land. And that's really useful if you have tight hamstrings or anything going on in your lower back. But if you have them, use the blocks, and you may find that they're not necessary at all, that you can bring the hands to the floor, and that's fine. Okay, so the first pose that we do is called equal standing pose, and this pose is very powerful and very strong, and basically you're just standing up. Okay, so you probably haven't thought too much about standing up since you were a wee baby crawling around trying to stand. So for now, just spread the toes as best you can, and don't worry if they just do not want to spread at all. They might just be feeling like they're tight together. But if you over time keep asking the toes to spread, eventually the neural pathways will open and they'll start to spread. And really good posture comes from the ground up, from your feet upwards. So it's important to look after the feet. So spread the toes, press them firmly down into the ground, root down through the heels. And when you do that, when you imagine pressing the feet beyond the floor even, you'll notice how much strength you start to build in the legs. You feel really steady, like no one could knock you over, okay? You feel really strong. Then from here, you're going to connect to muscles in the pelvic floor. So I'm just going to turn around now, you stay as you are. So you want to feel like the pelvic floor area is drawing in and up. This has a really nice supporting effect in the body, really nice to support the lower back. And in addition to that support, you're going to draw the lower belly in and up as well. Okay, make sure that you're not gripping on too tight with these muscles. It's a fairly subtle connection, but it's just to get you to start to cultivate some core strength to help support the lift in the heart and the length in the spine. So feel the spine is growing upwards and you're reaching up through the crown of the head, okay? Almost as though there's a piece of string attached to the crown and it's reaching all the way up. It's been pulled all the way up to the sky. And then from here, the arms are strong. You're reaching through the fingertips. When you reach downwards through the fingertips, the shoulder heads lower away from the ears. And my first teacher always used to say, don't wear your shoulders as earrings. Okay, so just drop them down as best you can. And with the shoulder blades are moving slightly down and in towards each other at the back. Okay, so when you do that, you'll feel like the chest is starting to open a little. And while you're certainly not arching the back, it's a very gentle lift, a sense of openness. And when you feel that openness, then you can breathe freely. Okay, so just start to tune into that nice deep breath in and out through the nose. Okay, now when you're breathing, you're not sending the breath deep into the abdomen for this particular pose and these sun salutations. It's a more dynamic style of breathing called victorious breathing. And you breathe into the whole of the chest. So think about breathing 3-dimensionally all the way around the rib cage. Feel it expand as you breathe in and draw in as you breathe out. Okay, and your gaze is soft and straight ahead. Now, while you might be looking at me just now, when you do your own practice, try and keep your gaze nice and still. So when the eyes are still, then the mind can become still as well. If the eyes are darting around the place, then the mind's usually quite loud. So again, we just want to bring a bit of stillness to the mind so that we're just releasing any anxieties and we're just bringing our attention to the breath, to the posture, and being in the present moment. Okay, and we're just standing up. All of this and we're just standing. So first posture. Now we're going to link the breath to our movements. Okay, so as a rule of thumb, in yoga, when you breathe in, there's an upward lift, okay, or an outward movement. It's expansive. So the inhale really supports your movement upwards, okay, and then the exhale is movement downwards or in, any closing postures, any twists, all of that is with the exhale. Okay, so we'll link these postures to the breath. So take a deep breath in and reach the arms up. Try and drop the shoulders away from the ears and then turn the palms out to the side. And as you do this, feel the spine really grow long. Okay, deep breath in, reaching the arms up. And then exhale, arms to the side. One more time, deep breath in, reach the arms up. And then a deep breath out, arms to the side. Okay, well done. So the breath really allows the movement to be graceful. You can be in full control over your movements when you link it with the breath. Okay, so we're going to add on from here. So back to equal standing pose, nice deep breaths. On your next breath in, reach the arms up. So you're making sure the knees are not locked as well in this pose. And then exhale, forward fold. Now when you forward fold, it's like you're diving forwards into a pool. So bend the knees and then take the hands down as far as they want to go. Now you will feel a point where the hamstrings just say, that's enough, I don't want to go any further. So if that's the case, what you can do is bend your knees much more to get the hands to the floor, or you can play with the blocks or whatever support you have. Make sure that the hands feel like they're rooting downwards, okay? Now this is a forward fold, so for a forward fold you're drawing the belly in and you're rounding through the spine and letting the head go. Okay, now if you can, you're kind of resisting the temptation to hold the head up. So just let it go and you'll feel a lovely decompression in the upper back and in the neck. Couple of breaths here. Okay, now when you're ready, take a deep breath in and start to lift the chest again. We're coming into half forward fold now. So arms are straight, legs work towards straight, and the spine is straight. Okay, take a few more breaths here. Again, being mindful of where the shoulders are. So pull them back towards the hips. Okay, couple more breaths. And we'll just alternate between these two poses. So it's an exhale to forward fold. And an inhale to lengthen up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen up. Well done. Okay, from here we'll bend the knees. We're going to add on so that we come to the next part of the sun salutation. So bend your knees a lot more to get the hands to the floor. Lean into the hands a little and step your feet slowly back to come to plank pose. So in plank, you're pressing the ground away with the hands and with the feet, and that charges a lot of energy up through the body. Maybe bring the knees down if it's too much for now. Okay, or one more breath here. And then exhale, everybody, bring the knees to the floor, point the toes. Now keeping the back of the head lifted, look forwards and bend your elbows. Now with control, we're going to come to the floor. Make sure your knees aren't too close to the wrists here. Okay, you want them to be quite far back. So lower the body slowly, slowly, slowly down towards the floor. Okay, so now that you're on the floor, we're going to practice a back bend. But to set that up, you need to press the toes, the tops of the feet into the floor, charging energy up the legs. Think about lengthening your tailbone And imagine a real heavy weight on your lower back, so you feel really grounded there, really rooted down through the hips. And at this point you may find that you need a blanket underneath the hips. You can go ahead and get that. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows come in. Now on your next breath in, feel like you're leading the movement from the centre of the chest. So the centre of the chest lifts up, not the head, the centre of the chest. And you're just lifting up as far as you can comfortably, and then maybe tilting the head back. And then exhale, take it down. So we'll do that again really slowly. Inhale, and then exhale. So this is called cobra pose. So you're just imagining the movements of a snake in the spine. And exhale, take it down. Well done. Okay, tucking the chin in, we'll move to the next part. So lift up onto the hands and knees. Now I'm going to show you an alternative to the down dog, which we're going to do next. Okay, so an alternative, a good one, is child's pose. So the big toes move together, the knees wide, and you ease the hips back and bow the head down. Okay, so deep breaths in and out here. This is a lovely pose to help stretch out the shoulders, the arms and the back. You might feel a sense of stretch in the quads as well, and the legs and the hips. And then, if you like, you can practice downward facing dog. So to do that, you're lifting up onto all fours. Okay, make sure knees are hip width, feet are hip width too. And then you're tucking the toes under. Okay, and you're leading, this time leading with the hips, okay, like the hips are being pulled diagonally up and back. So press the ground away with the hands, lift the hips up and back and release the head and the neck. Now, the knees might not want to go straight, so keep your knees bent. It's way more important to lengthen the spine than it is to lengthen the legs, okay? So bending the knees like somebody's pulling the hips up and back diagonally, but you are at the same time are reaching into the hands, just as we did with the feet in equal standing pose. You reach the hands beyond the floor. So quite a strong, powerful pose. And then from here we're going to bend the knees more deeply and glance forwards. Step your feet in towards the front of the mat. So if walking the feet forwards is not an option, just come back down onto the knees and just come up any way you can. Okay, till you're at the front end of the mat. Then you can bring the hands to the shin bones or back to your props and scoop the centre of the chest up. So a nice bright heart and long spine. And then exhale, forward fold. And then a deep breath in as you come all the way up to rise. You might want to use your hands for some support and reach the arms up. So inhaling, inhaling. And then exhale, bring the hands down. And that's your sun salutation. So I'm going to put it all together. We'll flow with it together. Okay, so back to equal standing pose. And this will give you an indication of the pace that you can take when you're starting to do your own practice at home. Okay, so reach the feet into the ground, lift the heart high, breathing deep, channeling the energy of the sun for the sun salutation. No locking of the knees. Okay, when you're ready to inhale, you float the arms up and look up. Then exhale, dive forwards and down, bring the hands to the floor or to your props. Bow the head. Take a deep breath in as you float the heart high, lengthening the spine, the arms and perhaps the legs. When you're ready to exhale, root the hands into the ground, lean into the hands and step your feet back, come to plank pose. Inhale in plank, exhaling, come down, onto the knees, point the toes, lower the body down. Then inhale, lift the heart high. Head comes up last, then exhale, pressing the spine back down, tuck the chin under. Inhale, come up onto the hands and knees. Here you can shift back into child's pose to prepare, head comes down. Then inhale, Rising up to down dog. If down dog isn't an option for you, you stay where you were in child's pose. Bending the knees if you need to. You can always pad one heel downwards towards the floor at a time, bending the opposite knee really deeply. Again, resist the temptation to hold the head up. So you can hold this for about 5 breaths. Okay, and then when you're done, bring the feet slightly in towards each other, bending the knees, and you can walk the feet forwards. If it's okay for you, you can step your feet forwards one at a time, lifting the heart high. Hands can come to the shin bones or your props. Exhale, hands to props or the floor for a forward fold. And then a deep breath in to come all the way up to rise, look up, and exhale. Swim the arms back down, coming back to equal standing pose. So that's your sun salutation breakdown, and then a nice flow of your sun salutation. Happy practicing. Namaste.